Hi there, this is Art and Such with part 1 of my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Veronica from the Archie comics. I'll tell you right now, this pattern takes a bit of fiddling and adjusting when we near the end, but we're not going to worry about that right now. You will need red for the dress and the shoes, or whichever color you choose. I've used black for the belt and black for the hair. I would strongly recommend pony beads for the eyes if you have them. I use small ones here. I'll use larger ones in my video today. And you'll need skin tone bands for the arms, legs, and face. Your Rainbow Loom hook, a C-clip, and your loom in the offset position with your middle row raised above the other two. We'll start by making our arm. I did 8 bands I used in my original. I'm using 7 bands this time. And the longer you make it, the longer the arms will be, but the more it will curve, so use your discretion there. We're going to start with the skin tone band, wrap it 3 times around our hook, and pull that onto a doubled over single. Take it, twist it over onto itself, anchor it on the end of your hook, and pull your first bands over. So we need a total of 6 sets. That was 1. This is 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll need to pause your video, make a second arm, and then you can put these on the side or leave them on your hook for a little bit later. We're going to set up our loom with 2 skin tone bands coming from the first peg on the center to the second peg on the center, 2 skin tone bands coming down, 2 red bands from the second center to the second on the side, and repeat to the other side. 1 set of 2 reds coming down from your second peg to your third peg for each side. Now in the center, to give a little more skin at the top of by the neck, we're going to add 2 bands from the second center third to the second on the side, and 2 moving up to the other side. For the kind of thickness here, you can put 8 red bands on your third peg to your fourth peg on each of the sides. This is followed by 4 more sets of double reds, and that takes you to your 8th peg from the top, and you'll finish off to the end of the loom with 5 more skin toned sets of 2. Also make sure you have 4 more sets of double reds in the center. So pause your video, check that you're all caught up here. We'll do the feet. For the feet, or the boots or the shoes, I'm going to use 3 reds, hold them together, wrap them twice onto the end of my hook, and pull that onto 2 other red bands. Make sure you get all the pieces. Close it up, bring it center, and this goes on your bottommost peg. We'll repeat that for the other side. Grab 3 red bands, wrap it twice, and pull this onto 2 more reds. Let's add our arms, and then we can put on some caps and our extensions. So grab your arms, and they're going to go on your shoulder pegs, which are your second pegs down. If it isn't curving the direction you want it to, you might need to pull it off the loom and twist it over, turn it around, put it on the other direction. For our caps, we'll use a single band and stretch it from our third peg to our third peg, raise it up in a triangle formation. We'll have a second loose one, just a single, The next one will be doubling over. and stretching from your 5th peg to your 5th peg, again counting from the top, bring it up into a triangle formation. Next band can be a single. I'm trying to tighten things up a little at the waist, and just at the bottom here we'll do one more doubled over band and reach it up over. Okay, we're ready for our extensions. And these are for the hips and the waist. We're going to take a single red band, wrap it twice over our hook, bring it on to 3 sets of double red bands. That's 1, 2, and 3. And this will go from it will stretch from your 5th peg, counting from the top, to your 8th peg from the top. So find the peg 2 below your shoulder, and you'll grab those bottom loops from the cap and stretch those to where the leg starts. Now you want to grab a couple of these bands out of our extension pieces and stretch them up and over so that they're secured on the skirt itself. We're going to repeat that for the other side. Single wrapped twice onto 3 sets of doubles. So here is 1, here is 2, and the 3rd one. Once more, we're finding that 5th peg. If we count from the top, it should be directly opposite the peg where we put that other piece on the other side. Find your caps, stretch them on top, and dig out a couple pieces of those extensions to fit around the pegs. We're ready to loop up. I'm going to help you with the first part, and I might leave you to do the last. We're starting in the center. We're going to loop up until the 3rd peg from the top where the skin tones come in our way. So just grab your bands and loop them upwards. When you get to the skin tone section, you're going to reach in, get your top 2 bands and bring them back to the side that they came from, remembering to push those down. Next 2 go to the other side, and our last 2 are going to be coming up. We'll stop there and we'll come back under the leg, under the foot, and get our leg pieces. So you're getting the skin tone bands from under the shoe. We're going to loop straight up all the way to the shoulder. You will have a bit of a tight cap band pretty soon, and you'll have those extensions to watch out for. So turn it to the side if you need, and just make sure that you are only grabbing the bottom 2 reds. I think I've missed one here. Okay. When you get to this really thick chunk of bands, you can take a couple at a time, or you can bring them up all together. Make sure you push your triangle band back, and these are all going to come to that next peg on top. You'll reach under again and grab your bottom 2 bands. And go underneath to get your shoulder bands, which are red. Looks like we will have time for both sides in this video. Okay, let's get under our other shoe, other side, and push these back. Get just your skin tone bands, bring them upwards. We're going to loop up again all the way to the red, all the way through the red, all the way to the top, and meet with the shoulders. You can fast forward ahead a little bit here if you're a more advanced loomer and are moving a bit faster. Reach underneath, get those bottom 2 reds. Bring it around, loosen it up a little as you need, and under, keep going up. Make sure you're staying inside the cap bands, so always push them back before you grab up your bottom bands. Our next stick set, I'm going to try and grab them all again for the sake of time here. Bottom 2 reds, and our last 2 shoulder piece reds. Reach into that last peg right to the bottom and get your last 2 neck piece skin tones. I'm going to ask you to remove this from your loom and meet me back for part 2.